Hey guys, welcome to this special edition of 5 on Fry. I'm AJ Fry, and if I look a little bit more tired and scruffy than I usually do, it's because I really don't want to put too much effort into this episode because today is my birthday. And also, I just got back from E3, which is why I'm tired and jet lagged, but I have so much to talk about from my experiences down at E3. I thought I'd give you the top 5 things that I experienced at E3 this year. And before we dive into that, just a big thank you to everyone for all the birthday wishes on social media, and also to my friend across the pond over in Finland, Taro, who sent me a huge package of amazing chocolates and treats from Finland. I can't wait to dive into those with Zara. So thank you very much, Taro, and to everyone else for all the birthday wishes. All right, here are the top 5 things that I experienced at E3 2016. Number 1, a great game from Ubisoft called Eagle Flight. This is a VR experience, and you are basically a bird with 2 teammates competing against a team of 3 other people playing as birds in the streets of Paris after the world has fallen apart and animals have taken over, so there aren't any people running around. The architecture is beautiful, and basically you're playing a game of capture the flag, but flying through the air, and you actually control it by tilting your head mostly. You do have a game controller in your hand, but it was honestly, I would say, the most fun VR experience that I had because of how innovative it was and just the experience of flying through the streets of Paris. I mean, unimaginable 15 years ago, and I was doing it and it felt like I was there. It was awesome. Another awesome VR experience that I had for a completely different reason was Star Trek VR, also from Ubisoft, who totally killed it at E3 this year. I wish I had time to talk about the new South Park game, The Fractured Butthole, or just Fractured Butthole. Greatest name for a game ever. But enough about that. Star Trek VR is basically like the game Artemis, which you can currently buy and play on your PC or your tablets at a local area network where you and your friends control a starship, though Artemis isn't officially Star Trek licensed. This Star Trek VR game is, so you're aboard a ship much like the Enterprise. In the demo that I played, it was called the Aegis, and basically as you turn your head in virtual reality, you see you're at a console, and your friends who you're playing with online, you can see them aboard the bridge as well, and of course hear them, and when they do hand gestures, you can see those hand gestures, and all of the players have different responsibilities aboard the bridge of the starship. Someone acts as the captain, someone acts as I was the weapons and defenses, so I was operating the shield, shooting phasers and torpedoes. Is it phasers? I mean, you set your phasers to stun. I'm really jet lagged, guys. But it was a cool VR experience. I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Eagle Flight, but a lot of that had to do with the fact that the controls were so simplified for the E3 demo. So really, when you get your hands on the full game and you can make it as complex and complicated as it should be, so that it's an actual challenge with your friends, I think that will be hilariously fun, and it is so cool to be actually in the world of Star Trek in a virtual experience, a shared virtual experience where you can see one another and see what you're doing in a virtual space. It is the future that was predicted in those really bad 80s movies. Okay, so 2 really cool things from Nintendo. First things first, I met the man himself, Reggie, the president of Nintendo of America, and got to interview him for the first time. He was super chill, really good on camera. One of the guys from Nintendo warned me not to ask him about the NX, so I kind of brought it up in an offhanded way, and when the camera wasn't rolling, he turned to me and he was like, when you brought up NX, I was about to throw you over the railing here at this upper level of the Nintendo booth. And I should mention the Nintendo booth and how amazing it was. It should win Best of E3 for just how beautiful it was on the interior. Sadly, the only thing that Nintendo brought this year was the new Zelda game, which is slated to come out for the Wii U and the NX in 2017. But the great thing is that they brought the new Zelda, and I got to play it for like half an hour. There were 2 different experiences, a 15-minute one and a 20-minute more story-based adventure that I got to go through, and it was brilliant. Very different than your usual Zelda fare, though very true to the spirit of Zelda. Obviously, you're playing as Link. The visuals are absolutely on target, on fleek, as the kids would say. You're exploring Hyrule in a different way. Obviously, you can jump now, which was great, and it is such an immense open world. I only saw like a 2% of it, and even what I did see was mind-blowingly huge. You can cook in the game, you can do all kinds of things that you couldn't before. The monsters were cool. Again, a very simplified, no danger type demo experience, so it's hard to tell how challenging the game will be, but I'm sure there's going to be lots of variable difficulty settings, and I'm sure if you are a Zelda fan, you will be happy with the new one. It is called Breath of the Wild, a great title, and I'm sure hardcore Zelda fans are going to be excited about the fact that they've decided to delay this this one for so long for the fact that they're going to make it good. Another awesome game that I got to try was called Sea of Thieves. This one is exclusively for the Xbox One, and it's in development right now by Rare, a company out of the UK. I tried it at the Xbox Best of Showcase on the first night that I was there, and it's another hilarious multiplayer experience. That's my kind of game when you're playing things with your friends, and in this one you play a bunch of pirates captaining a pirate ship. So it's kind of like the Star Trek VR experience, only you're pirates, and it wasn't a VR thing. You play it on the Xbox One, hopefully for the PC as well, and yeah, you're controlling a pirate ship, but doing it collectively, so you can run from manning a cannon to actually piloting the ship, or you can run below decks and nail boards to the wall where there have been damage to the hull of your ship. You can even pull out an accordion and play a bit of a song, which I think was designed to like motivate people to work faster or do things better, kind of like a buff for your team, but there were no instructions and no one really explaining how everything worked. So it's kind of like one of those games, kind of like Minecraft, where you're just plunked into a world and a lot of the fun is discovering what you can or can't do and how to interact with the world. And the amazing thing is too, when your ship gets taken down, you're not necessarily dead. You can swim around and maybe go to shore and find a new pirate ship or climb aboard someone else's. It'll be interesting to see how they develop this game further based upon player interactions and player feedback. I hope they keep it very open to player self-expression in that one. Alright, last game that I got to try is an upcoming virtual reality experience. It was all about virtual reality at this year's E3 for the PlayStation 4 VR headset. And this one was called Farpoint, and what really impressed me about it was it defied my expectations for what we could do in virtual reality, because when I first tried VR, I was like, this is going to be cool, but you certainly can't play a first-person shooter game in VR, because in first-person shooter games, you shoot forward, like the target is always at the center of your screen. But in this case, they gave you a gun peripheral, and actually it made it feel very natural. It was a single-player experience, so I wasn't competing with anybody, and it certainly wasn't especially fast-paced. But being in this alien world, exploring this surface of a planet kind of like Mars, where there were alien bug-like creatures attacking me, and that sensation of actually, firing a gun and seeing them explode just, meters from my face, that was sincerely really cool, and I'm gonna have to look long and hard at one of these PlayStation VR headsets when they come out. They are pretty pricey, but some of the experiences you can have are unlike anything I've done in gaming before because of that immersive experience of virtual reality. Let's just all hope we don't get lost in that world in the future, because there's lots of fun to be had in reality. And before we wrap up this episode of 5 on Fry, I should let you know that tomorrow I will be appearing at a meet and greet with Carly Woods. I believe it is at 3 p.m. at 299 Queen Street West. I should probably triple check that before I actually finish recording this episode. Yes, so you can come and meet me at 3 p.m. at 277 Queen Street West tomorrow, or today, depending on when this video gets posted, Saturday, June 18th. I'll be hanging around. I suspect most people will be showing up to meet Carly because she's a fantastic cosplayer and has a lot more followers and subscribers on YouTube than I do. But hey, if you're in Toronto and you got nothing better to do tomorrow afternoon, why not come say hello and, we can talk about video games and E3 and whatever the hell else you want to talk about. That's it from this edition of 5 on Fry. I'm going to edit this as quickly as possible and maybe take a nap before the rest of my birthday festivities. Thanks again for watching. Follow me on Thanks again for following me. Oh my god. Thanks again for watching. Follow me on social media, and I'll see you all in the future.